you see, they've got a neck on the floor. He's got his hand on her neck.
He's straight out of Wales with the wind in his sails. He's tipping the scales, Silurian trails, revealing their names while he's lifting their veils. Public assails, no one exhales. Won't read in the mail, it's not printed in braille. No bonus for sales, the light will prevail. He's telling the tale while he's hot on the trail. Whole nother scale, he's hammering the nail. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
Step back, please. Don't be arrested. Step back. The press, don't even pick on me. Are you watching this? The press aren't allowed to film.
Injustice is served, collar crime is submerged. Don't be absurd, your vision is blurred. He's seen it occur, still right there on the curb. His iPhone record, he's filming the herd. BLM thugs act like cons high on drugs. They wrecking the place, they're smashing the face. He's in with the thick, in with hammers and sticks. Exposing the truth, he's showing the proof. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
You just don't want to see it there. You just don't want to see the violence. You don't want to see the violence on some of those people. 3 people on a woman.
Support for the vets, pray unless we forget the pain he besets and the truth he projects. He's a victim of threats, but he never regrets. Life extremely upsets, no printing gazettes. He's taken the test, got the pedo's address. No south, east or west, he streams the protest. No news is suppressed, the whole truth is expressed. Twin standard he test, he's facing arrest. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
There's 4, 5 or 1. There's 2 on a girl.
Evening all. Oh, I forgot about my hat. You see my bald head, folks. Sorry about that. The sun's going to be shining off it with these lights. I'll go and grab it in a minute. Happy New Year all. Thanks for all joining me. And again, could you please all share to all your groups and to your profiles, please? It would be great. It's a jam-packed show tonight. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be talking about London as well tonight. I am got a few other things I want to talk about as well, and it should really be a good show. I think it's 4 guests on tonight as well, folks. So evening all. Yeah, if you could all jump on to my live news and demo news page, I can see all. I think that's where you all are at the moment. That's where the comments are coming from. If you could tell me what group you're watching it off, either the group or the page or my profile. If you could tell me that, and then I'll know for next week just to send it into that place, and then I can share it from there, and then I'll see all your comments next week. That's what I'm aiming for. It will be going on to Twitter next week, and I am going to be Twitch. I'm going to be putting it onto Twitch at the same time as well, because I've got that option to do it. So my first guest tonight is going to be Daz Hopkins. He delivers a lot of light newspapers, and if you all think that I do a lot of work, that I go to a lot of demos and I put a lot of work into this, Daz does a hell of a lot more than I do. I can tell you that now. This guy travels the country and delivers and not delivers, but talks to a lot more people than I do. Also, he promotes a light newspaper and he tells the truth. It's all about the truthers movement. This is, and everybody's got a different role in it. And Daz is doing awfully well. He's out and about near enough every day of the week, more than I am. I can tell you that now for a fact, folks. All right. If you could all welcome Daz onto the show. Evening, Daz. How are you, mate?
How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah. Yeah, cheers for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, mate. It's a pleasure. I'm going to get my hat in a minute. I don't want to keep on blinding people. Right. Could you tell all my viewers a little bit of background about yourself firstly? And I'm going to go and grab my hat.
Yeah, where to start? Yeah, no, the background is been a single father like for many years. Like,
Easy done.
there you go, mate. Told you it'd go like this as soon as I get on live. Blanks, get me on the streets. It rolls off the end of me tongue. Like, doesn't matter who I'm debating, scientists, doctors, or whatever. Like, but yeah, no, my background isn't nothing special. Just a little town guy. Like, wouldn't really say boo to a ghost before. Wouldn't, you know what I mean? Wouldn't speak my truth. Bit of a coward, to be honest. Like, but then COVID come along. It kind of changed me. Now, at the start of it, I was quite blasé, going in that the house, not asked about it, thinking it's nothing. I've always been a bit of a conspiracy theorist, like the black sheep of the family, the crazy guy, you know. But no, I had a missus at the start of it, and about a week in and out, like, and then she'd show me videos, pictures, and that, like, oh, what's going on, that, like, what's not really going on, you know what I mean? It's all theatrical. But it hypnotized me, and yeah, I was surprised, big time surprised. Like, so I had about 2 weeks of going in and out the house, stripping down to my boxes, spraying me with Dettol. As I'm coming in and out the house, like, it's crazy. I've come from totally the other side. Well, I was non-believer to a believer. Then within a couple of weeks, even I'm not embarrassed to say this, but I even had a decontamination table out the front, like. But it was only because her 3-year-old daughter, she put her daughter's life in my hands. Major bronchitis problems when she was younger. So yeah, kind of unintentionally, emotionally manipulated me into being hypnotized into this BS. Like, I mean, I won't swear. So yeah, I did about 2 weeks of that. Like, my 11-year-old boy got it before I did. Like, and he was like, "What are you doing, Dad? Get that shit off. Stop messing about." Like, so fair play to him, top lad. About 2 weeks of this, sat right in bed in the morning, just looked at her and said, "I can't do this. Something don't sit right with me." Took her home, and come back and started digging. 10 minutes it took me to realise that it's a load of rubbish. Then I started following the numbers, following everything else, and then something happened to me. I had a bit of a spiritual awakening. For about 20-30 minutes, this energy went through my body, and I was awake, like, fully awake then. Like, I've always been like half awake. Yeah, the energy sparks going off inside my head. My head exploded, and the energy went through my body. Like, I've never felt this before, and I've done a lot of partying in my time. This is something I've never experienced. And then it was like I had a message, and that's where I started. So I got out on the streets, started telling people what's going on, started putting things on Facebook, started handing out flyers, started following the numbers. Like, well, I'd already following the numbers, but I started taking out, like, print off sheets of the NHS, ONS, and, you know, FDA stuff, CDC. I was following it all right from the start. Got a lot of shit right. You know what I mean? People threatening to smash my head in, even old mates of mine threatening to come and chew me in and that lot. I say old mates because that's what they are, like, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter what our beliefs are. That's not the way to do. But yeah, all sorts of stuff, like, so since that, and then I was yeah, it's been a bit of a tricky one. Social services, police pull me over, police come to my door, police officers trying to grab me in town while I'm handing out information, child wellbeing services, done presentation in school and stuff like that. Carried on from there, and then I met this guy called Daryl, top guy. Like, he just got the light paper in, and it was the September issue, which is when they started. And that's where I started with the light paper. I started out with 20 of handing out 20 to 50 a day, and 16 months later, it's I'm averaging like 400 to 600 a day, and that's hand to hand, speaking to people on the streets, trying to undo the hypnotic spells, because I'm not one for gimmicks and that, like going out with loads of show stuff and that. It's not for me. Like, I just like to speak to people on a personal level, because let them ask the questions. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like psychologically manipulate them to ask the questions that I want them to ask, and everything they ask, I've got the answers to, and that like I've always got backup like links and tabs saved on my internet just in case they've got any questions, and I've got everything there to hand just to cover anything that I'm talking about. So yeah, and that's how it's that's been pretty much the last 21 months for me.
And you travel the old country, mind, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been all over I started locally first there. I won't exactly say where I am, like, but it's in the West Midlands. And I started reaching out a little bit further. And about 5 months ago, I bumped into this lad there, Damien Freeman, top lad. And I was seeing he was handing out the light papers, same as me, doing it out on the streets. So I contacted them, and it's like, we need to get together, man, and work out something. And then that's when we started touring further. So we've been all the way up to Newcastle, we've been all the way down to Southampton, done all in different parts in London, but all around the South Wales. The only place I haven't done is the East Coast and the West Country, which that's my next tour. So I'm going to I'm going to start Coventry, because I've got to come from that way, kind of thing. Coventry, Leicester, then it'll be over to Peterborough, Norwich, Ipswich, Colchester, Chelmsford, down into Margate, Dover, Folkestone, Canterbury before that, like round Brighton, Eastbourne, then Brighton. Sorry, it's wrong order. Southampton, Bournemouth, Portsmouth, Bournemouth, and keep going down all the way down to St Ives, and then back up the other side, and keep coming up all the way back up to Weston-super-Mare. I'll finish up, but there's 34 stops I'm planning on doing over 16 days.
How do you manage to finance that then?
Well, I put all my savings into it in the first year.
Snap. That's what I did the last few years.
Everything I put in. I bought a van. That went kaput. So I've just been driving around in my little put car. Like I get a little bit of help here and there, like off a few different people, which is massively grateful. Or massively appreciated.
You can't do it for free. If you're going on a tour like that, you've got to have somewhere to stay and everything else, like, do you mean?
Yeah, well, I'm going to put onto my on my Facebook account the locations which I'm stopping at, and because I've already travelled all over the country, and I'm admins in a few big groups on Telegram, I could put out there, and usually I can find a few places to stay. If not, I'll rough it in the van, as long as I can get a shower every other day, like, I'll be sound.
That's right, mate. So, what did you think about London on Friday, New Year's Eve?
Poor, very poor, and quite dangerous, to be fair. Dangerous for vulnerable females. Yeah,
I thought exactly the same, mate.
I
left about 11:45. At 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I would say the ratio of foreign nationals to British
here you go. Mariana. I'll be starting in Coventry. If you want to meet up, if you want to find me if you're on Facebook, sorry mate, Dazza Hopkins, DAZZA. Well, whatever my name's how it's pronounced on there, and then HOPKINS. Or if you're not on that, it's Daz_Joe90 on Instagram, or on Telegram, it's at Joe90 Awake. So if anyone wants to contact me on this, I shall be putting a location list out on Facebook, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah, if you jump on the live after once the live's finished, Daz, and just put all your links on there, and people can follow it. Then it's not a problem.
Yeah.
If I had the links beforehand, I could have done it. But as I'm a lone person doing this, it's a bit hard to do everything at once. Got messages up on that. I haven't got a co-host, so
this is why I don't do lives and stuff like that, because I'm just a single father going about the country. I haven't got time for it, like, and
I've
got to look after the boy, which I'm homeschooling as well, like, so it's a mission.
Yeah,
but yeah, let's get get back to London.
Yeah, by about 10 o'clock, after that arrest, say 10 the arrest was, I would say that the ratio of people was 5-1 for a British person. Do you mean? It was 5-1 foreign nationalists. That's all I'm saying. And yeah. And I did feel, I felt a little bit intimidated as well. But times I left a 11:45, I left early, right? I got across Westminster Bridge. There must have been, the whole place was ram packed. Westminster Bridge, around Parliament. It had to be on the other side of the Thames. There had to be, I would say, 300,000 people. And the times I went across that bridge, 11:45, I would say the ratio had changed to 10-1. And like you said, you had an incident with one of the friends you were with, didn't you?
Yeah, one of my friends got targeted. They was it's a bit of a sad thing, like, because they was like taking pictures of video recording her and that lot, and it was basically targeting her which was sad. But and it was like just me and my mate was there. We went, me and my mate and two girls went down on the train, so we would have been totally outnumbered massively. But there was about 30 or 40 of them and kept coming, just standing, staring at her, taking pictures and that lot. And it's like, I'm only a 5'7" guy, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not big and I'm not hard, like, so I'm not gonna fend off loads of guys. Like, so yeah, it was pretty intimidating, but no matter what happened, we ended up, looks like we got to get you out of here. So we took her for a walk, took her out the limelight for a little bit, and then
it's definitely a little bit frightening when they are intimidating, and they were all in gangs and stuff as well.
Yeah,
because when I saw, I'll go into about Gavin being arrested and that afterwards, because it was slightly different, because Gavin actually was pushed, and he pushed the guy back off the wall, off the grass, onto the path. Nothing happened to him. There was another one standing next to him, and he pushed Gavin, and Gavin then pushed him off the wall. And as soon as Gavin jumped down, then what happened was he was surrounded. There was like 20 came from everywhere, these foreign nationalists. I'm keeping it as foreign nationalists, and they came from everywhere. And then the police came in and had a go at Gavin, like. But now he's in Wandsworth for 8 months until he gets his court case, because he was actually on tag at the time. So,
well, that's when that was the exact time that I got my female friend out of the.
It was probably. Yeah. I've got to say, mind, right, when he got arrested, right, the crowd all turned on the police, and I've got to say, the foreign nationalists, they were the ones who were actually sticking up for him. They were actually having to go at the police.
Yeah.
Do you mean it was bonkers really watching, and it was just a shame that I had my camera facing me, because it was my iPhone 11, and I don't use it. I normally use my Note 9, like, but I wanted to use my because I had a ban. I had to use it off my other phone, because obviously you can't set with a Facebook account on the same phone. They just won't allow you to do it, and you have to have a different email address. So I was using this. So halfway through, I didn't even realize I was filming myself getting angry with the police, like, do you know what I mean? And having a pop at the police. But I did get him going in the back of the van. But what I got to say, those foreign nationalists did actually stand up. They were actually fighting back.
It just shows when push comes to shove, like, we will unite together.
Yeah, but London is a very dangerous place, like, do you know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
And what happens when we get our country back? And the thing is, I think a lot of these foreign nationalists went to New Year's Eve just for the trouble, to be honest with
you. Yeah,
because last year they went to New Year's Eve and it was a riot around that area.
I don't know about that. I didn't.
Yeah, that's why they turned up with the riot gear. The police did. The riot gear wasn't for us; it was for the riot which you had last year.
Okay.
The year before, see. So the police were quite wary of it. so they knew exactly what was going to happen. Like, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a little veteran on as well. He's sitting in the background.
Hello, guys.
Evening,
How's it
Nobby.
going,
How are you,
Michael?
mate?
How you doing?
Gaz, this is Nobby. He kind of patrols around Dover area and that. And
Oh, nice.
he watches all these boats coming in.
Right, well, I'll be down. I'm planning to stop in Dover on my next tour as well. Like, so.
Oh yeah. When
Yeah.
about?
Sorry.
When about?
Probably. Oh, be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, better to look at the weather forecast so you get the right days.
Yeah, of course. Where it's good to be. Whatever the weather is, I'll be out and I'll be distributing some sort of truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good lad.
Yeah.
Best way.
Come rain or shine on there.
So, what have you been up to, Nobby, lately?
Me, look, there's a lot of background work going on. Active went quiet for a couple of weeks over Christmas. We're both now chatting and discussing. Now we've got the 16-meter fishing boat we've got now, so we can go out in the channel. We've been advised by a solicitor what not to do and what can do. So we have to take a bit of a different direction so we don't end up in nick. So, but we got two boats. I'm looking to get a bigger engine on mine up to 20 horsepower. So we got different angles to take this now, just to bring out the truth. Not by breaking any rules and regulations. We never do. That's why they take us to court and we all get let off. Waste of taxpayers' money. So, but yeah, and also there's a lot going on with looking for homeless veterans, so we can put pressure on the local MPs. Hopefully use the covenant from what the government's made and the local councils are signed up to help veterans. And then use the PTSD camp to give them respite as well. So you know a lot about that, Phil. So a lot going on.
So, yeah, because you're quite involved with the PTSD camp like I am as well, Nobby. Is it true there's another camp going to be coming along, a different part of the country?
Yeah. Over when did I go up? Just before Christmas, wasn't it? I went up. Yeah, just before Christmas I went up. I was chatting to Joe. There's another lady with some land who's willing to do what we've done down at Bath. So once me and Joe sort of get time to chat, then I'll get the lady's address, go up and see her, check it out, and then we'll do exactly what we did with the last one. We'll get people up there, highlight what we're doing. We're going to be building exactly what we built at Bath. So we know what the cost is, we know what we need to do, and we can get it up a lot quicker. And it would be another camp in another part of the country to get veterans in that area too on respite. Look, it worked the other day. They had a guy up there who was taken up there, spent 2 days up there, and he was in tears when he left because he just felt home. And he does. He lets you get away. You have a good laugh. There's veterans up there. You get the banter. So yeah, brilliant place. So it needs to be highlighted more, used more this year.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on London at the moment? Do you think it's fallen?
Wow, mate. Look, I was born in and around London. I used to hang around in Hackney as a youngster. Yeah, and I'm talking 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I was on the streets of London. Yeah, on a skateboard. Yeah, bouncing around the cobbles, and yeah, we used to go to all the adventure playgrounds down in London as well. Now at that time, mate, as a youngster, I saw black people. Yeah, as in, as I call them, black people. My cousin's from Dominica. Yeah, my uncle. Yeah, he's black and he's from Dominica, so that's why I call blacks. So they're the people I remember in London as a youngster. And I get on well with everyone. But, mate, what I've seen in London with the few demos I've done in London, I don't feel safe in my own in my own town no more, if you know what I mean. I hate going there now. And look what the country's ruled by, mate. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but even Boris Johnson's history in his family's Muslim. Yeah, and that's, you know what I mean. You know me, I say how it is. And everyone else, yeah, Priti Patel, yeah, Javid. There's, you know what I mean. If you have a look at what's going on in the country, where they're letting you celebrate. Last year they didn't let you celebrate Christmas. That's a Christian thing. Yeah, they're trying to stop it. This year they let you have a little bit of Christmas because the government fucked up last year. And then to demolish this year, if you have a look how people are reacting after, look, London was one of the only cities that never celebrated Christmas this year with a firework display. Yeah, all the other countries did. And if you have a look how people are chatting, there is a dullness because we haven't had that Christian, as I call it, celebration in Christmas, where you have the old lang syne, you have the bells. Look, the bells even chimed at Big Ben, but no one showed it on TV. They showed that stupid little shard thing lit up, and that was it. Yeah, there was no music afterwards, nothing on the telly. Absolutely like a dead flat to start the new year, and people I'm seeing it on people now. So yeah, I do believe London's totally fallen, bro. Totally.
Yeah, mate.
I think other cities have fallen as well.
I've got to admit, mind, the response of the London people when it came to 12, well, before 12, on the other side of the Thames, they were setting fireworks off at 11 o'clock. And I bet you the police were running around like headless chickens because they were told,
yeah,
no
yeah, that was at
fireworks
the Big Wheel, wasn't it?
Well, across the Thames from there. That's because
Yeah,
the police...
because I was watching it to see what was going on because they were after quite a few people who were meant to be putting out fireworks, weren't they? They didn't know where they were.
yeah, definitely. Did you see any fireworks, Daz?
Only a few little ones set off.
Yeah, I got back to my hotel about 12:15, and that's in Paddington. And I tell you what, the fireworks around there was immense. Before I left, all the other side of the Thames, where the police weren't, by Scotland Yard at that side, they were setting fireworks off, mate. 11 o'clock onwards. It was pretty good, like. It was.
Yeah.
I'd just like to welcome Rohit in and John Lawerence as well.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Good evening, guys. Yes, Nobby, are you all right, my man?
Yeah, you all right, Nobby?
How's it going?
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, man. I was hoping to go Christmas at the camp. I think you were there, weren't you?
Oh, someone's frozen.
Yeah, I think he's probably doing something for his mother. He's in the background somewhere. He'll come back in anyway. He'll go off and come back on if he can't hear us. Yeah, it was. So, what about you, Rohit? What did you think of London on Friday?
Yeah, it was pretty. The crowd started to build up at a certain point, and our friend Gavin was nicked, obviously. So that happened. There was a few sort of scuffles, and then obviously the foreign nationals started to come in, and I kind of me and my friend left sort of before that got too bad. So we weren't there for like the midnight, but when you say there were, and Nobby says there weren't any fireworks, there was definitely fireworks at Greenwich because I saw that on the TV. It was quite lefty sort of.
But I'm talking about
not what they put.
I'm talking about the government organised firework display, not what the people do.
Yeah. What they put on the BBC was what they put on the BBC was apparently at the embankment, but
there
would have been something up in the air.
I feel like Khan told everyone, oh, there's no fireworks. And then he did it last minute in Greenwich to make it like, oh, it's they're making it safe for convid and that. Like,
they didn't actually row it. What they actually did, the fireworks went off by the general public. It was a laser show which Khan allowed.
Laser show and all that. Yeah, they did have a few at Greenwich. I saw it on the TV. definitely. They had it on there. But
and you believe the TV?
I
I thought you were
Well,
away.
I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, down there.
what they were showing on there on the BBC, the biggest bullshit channel, what they were showing on there didn't happen where they said it was happening. Not a chance. Embankment. That's about where it was.
That Embankment, what they shown, like it was Greenwich, I think, or that's where I heard.
No, I got it on my Facebook. I dropped the live stream from the BBC, like, and it's like, yeah, unless they had, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but half the country thought it was going off down by Parliament and that. I mean, down the Embankment, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't, because Khan already put a stop to it. Anyway, around Westminster,
propaganda, in it, mate. They put out what they want to put out and put together what they want to put out.
Yeah.
CGI, mate.
Yeah, CGI is a magnificent tool they use.
Mate, this is why there's people like us. This is why there's people like us, like, who go around the country doing what we do to show the people what actually is happening, without the bullshit crap in between.
Because otherwise, you know, you were just seeing lies all the time. You know, the public's just, you know, they're seeing what they're telling everyone.
Yeah,
that's right, mate.
But
I think he's gone off now. Yeah, he'll come back on now.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, John. With John gone for a minute, we might be able to get a word in edgeways. Sorry, John. Yeah. So where are you off to tomorrow, then, Daz? Because you virtually work every day, don't you?
Tomorrow I'm just doing the. I won't say exactly where, like, 'cause it's right next door to my home, like.
So wherever you turn up, mate.
Well, yeah. Actually, don't bother me. Like, what am I afraid of? Like, what am I, a warrior or warrior? I'm going to Ledbury and Ross on White tomorrow.
Hello, John. Nice to see you. You come back on.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, guys.
So you're using your StreamYard?
I am, yeah, but I keep muting it because I'm in a busy household at the moment. So
yeah. You need to adjust your green screen, mate. Go onto your settings. It's got a little bit of a green going around you everywhere you move in. Yeah, it's only just fade it. It's all right. No, I'm not bothered about it. Just mine's working. Yeah. So, John, how have you been keeping on?
Good, mate. Good. Busy up here, as you know. I did a load of hotels. I've been around Manchester. I was up Wakefield with Active and James Goddard a couple of times. So I've been busy.
So, how's your campaign for to run as a councillor now, then?
Well, I've been knocking. We've got to draft up some leaflets. I've already done some knocking in that. And 1 minute.
It's got background noise.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daz. I tell you what, PM me tomorrow, tonight, and I might come along and do a live.
Yeah.
Because I'm free on a Thursday, so I might come along and do a live.
Okay, yeah. You don't get too excited. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate. The only lives
there are a few exciting moments, like where the big fellas and that like trying to threaten to smash your head in, and I'll just so whatever, mate, carry on, do what you got to do. Well, that's not very nice, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're just gobbing off, like, and their missus are pulling them away. Like, I'll stand my ground. I don't budge. I can say I'm 5'7" and I'm not big on hard, like, but you know what I mean? Who won the battle, David or Goliath?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Just send me where you're going, and I'll.
Yeah, will do.
Because it's not too far away from me. It's only down the road, like, to me.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I am free tomorrow, so.
Oh, nice one. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So yeah, Phil. our party applications in, and we're confident now that it's going to get passed this time. But yeah, just looking forward to getting into local elections, showing my face. I don't know if you've seen the other week. Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, were having a question time, and he's had 6 question times around Greater Manchester, and he come to Oldham. So I booked a ticket, I went down and that, and when it come my time, I turned round to police, said, "You're a national disgrace and all police officers are sex offenders." That's exactly what I said to Oldham Chief of Police and Greater Manchester Chief of Police, because they're on special measures anyway. And sex offenders in the police, they're not vetting policemen. We've had Sharon Binks on. There's other women who've been assaulted with that Sir Everett murder. The sex offenders, honestly, they just don't. They're just not policemen. So I said that to the 2 coppers, and then I turned around to Andy Burnham and said, "You better take political correctness out of any inquiries he's doing, like what happened in Rotherham. Definitely silencing all the in the room." The policeman couldn't wait to turn around and answer me about vetting and recruitment of police officers, because it's just disgraceful. Just disgraceful that we've got a police force, and I've seen a list of 100 police names who are up for serious sexual offences, assault, and stuff like that. And as Sharon said, the 2 coppers who assaulted her still serving policemen in GMP.
Yeah, I think our constables should be called constables, because at the end of the day, they're not the same as they were 20 years ago. Do you mean,
mate, call them what you like. I got away with it in Dover.
well,
luckily. So I mean, it's all about getting seen. So I asked both the Chief of Police's and Andy Burnham, and they're not going to forget the questions that I said. How can the Chief of Police forget that a member of the public has said that all police officers are sex offenders? And that's my exact words. I didn't say 50% of police force are sex offenders. I said you're all sex offenders.
Well, they kind of hide the fact that grooming gangs are going on around the country and stuff like that, and all the paedophiles. I mean, the police force aren't what they used to be. They hide offences, and they don't act on it.
They all seem to be the wrong ones, mate. Look how many boat people have come over and getting snatched up by these paedophile hunters on Facebook. You know what I mean? There's been loads of them.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But the police won't act, will they?
No.
It's like those 3 that had a few years and then they were released. They were meant to be deported, and 6 years later, we're still waiting for them to be deported.
Yeah.
They were meant to be deported, and they're not. They're still here, and they're still in the same town that they actually groomed.
Yeah, did the crime.
Groomed kids.
Yeah.
So absolutely mad. So, Rohit. So, what are your plans now?
Plans. This weekend there's I'm going to Birmingham because it's like a biker demo for there's a veteran like Grenadier Guard called Dave Holden, and he was involved in Northern Ireland, and he's getting he's in a case. He has a case now, basically. So you know, there's a bike thing going on. So I'll be down there in Birmingham this weekend. And what is it? I think Telford. There's another thing going on. So
yeah, that's the 29th of January. That one is. But it also got on the 22nd. There's the worldwide demo, which will be in near enough every city around the country.
Is that the week before then?
Yeah, it is. It's a Saturday before.
Have you heard of this? There's a thing called Global Vets Alliance, and they're going to be doing the demo on that day as well, probably in I think central London.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'll be in Glasgow. I'll be covering a children's demo, but obviously there's going to be a COVID demo that will turn up there as well, like it did later on last year. So I'm off to Glasgow. I am with the PCP girls. I am. I mean, for the sex education in schools and stuff. So it's going to be a quite interesting month. This one is.
Oh yeah, it's plenty of demos to go to, right?
There will be a lot more to go. I mean, if the government decides to lock us down, or bring it, I'm hoping they bring in mandatory vaccines.
I want the lockdowns. I want it all.
I want it all as well.
The faster they bring it, the faster the people wake up.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I want to bring those.
Mate, I've got a mega outfit for when we get locked down. You bloody wait and see.
I've seen it, mate. I've seen it.
Mate, you fucking wait and see, mate, because I will scare everyone shitless.
Mate, we don't want to see you in your birthday suit, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, definitely not, mate. Yeah. Because if they bring in the mandatory vaccines in, I think that's when a lot of people are going to kick off. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. We had 2 million on the streets last year on one demo, just on one. We had 1 million on another demo. We had 750,000 on another demo.
Was all of us there, or I know I was there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I was in Dover.
All right. I'll definitely catch up with you when I come down your way. I'll get.
Yeah.
I'll get your deets off. I'm guessing Phil's got your deets.
Yeah. Give him a number.
Yeah.
I'll grab them off you and I'll connect. Where are you two guys from? Sorry guys, I forgot your names though.
John's the one with the Great British sign behind him, and Rohit is the other one. Rohit's from just outside London, isn't it, Rohit?
Yeah, just like northwest, like London.
And John is from Manchester.
Got you.
And I'm from Milton Keynes.
Nice.
Yeah. Not Dover.
So when I do my tour, I was going to see whether I can link up with any of you two, but I'll be fine.
But by the way, lads, he delivers the Light newspaper right around the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to wake people up. It's the best way to get them on the streets, face to face.
Have you ever dropped any off at the PTSD camp before?
No.
Oh, Joe would love them.
No. But if anybody wants a load and that lot, I can get that sorted like through the main distributor.
Because remember we had a paper when we first started off down the PTSD camp used to get delivered, and it was quite quite interesting.
Yeah. We'll see if we can sort something out as well.
Even if it's a couple, just to leave in the drinking area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing. But you can also, if you go on the lightpaper.co.uk, you can get you can order, or if anyone wants to become a distributor, they can apply through there. Otherwise, if people have trouble, they're more than welcome to come through me, because I know the main guy, and obviously I know Darren Smith.
Right.
Yeah. So top guy, Emma.
I think the camp, Joe, she'd be very interested in having a few papers every so often, like the new edition every week.
Totally.
Because she's fully into this against COVID.
Nice. Well, let's see what we can sort out. Like, and
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, John, what are you going to be doing in the next couple of months? Hello, John. Has he muted me? Yes, he has.
He's disappearing.
Yeah. He's like a ghost, isn't he? He's put himself on mute.
Am I there or aren't I there? Oh, he's gone again.
I can't unmute him because he's muted himself. So, Rohit, what are you going to be doing in the next few months?
Well, I said, there's a demo on Saturday in Birmingham, so it's a biker demo. So
is that Birmingham or is that London?
Birmingham on Saturday, yeah.
There might be a part. there might be a party at Joseph and Bobby Blair's.
Oh yeah,
That's
they will,
if
yeah.
Liz as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I might pop in to see them, yeah. Might
Yeah,
as
because
well.
they're in Birmingham.
Yeah, true, yeah. But yeah, no, there's that going on. And then obviously the Telford and but yeah, no. Other than that, is not anything else I'm planning. But people can just put on demos whenever, innit? So you never know when something comes up. So,
I'm going to put your YouTube channel now at the bottom, folks.
oh yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Because that's the only one I was given. Like,
Yeah.
it's Gladius News, and that's on YouTube. That is, you can follow him there. You've got one as well, haven't you, Nobby, on YouTube?
Me, yeah, Mission Impossible.
I'll see if I can create a banner now. Yeah, well, when you going up on that boat then?
Well, we've just just to let people know, Active got a good donation off someone for about $3.5 grand. So we went and bought a 16-meter boat with a 60 horsepower engine, fishing boat, trailer. We've got it down to Dover. We're getting ready now just for the good weather. So we can go up and down the coastline because, mate, look, we're expecting 50 to 60,000 in by dinghy this year. Last year was only 30,000. The year before was 8,500. So bigger dinghies, 16-meter dinghies, front kipped up so they can ride bigger waves. Mate, they can sit on the edges of these and their feet don't even dangle in the water. So yeah, that's what we're expecting. So I did say that I was going to concentrate more on the homeless veterans. I'm splitting my time down at Dover because I've been asked not to back off. I've been told to stay where I am down at Dungeness on that side of the coast from Dover. So yeah, just waiting for the better weather to come because it's bound to come.
How many came in last year? Was it close to 30,000?
28,500 ish.
You're just going up like every year, right?
Oh, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy, mate. And it's you know what I mean? We've got estimates of 50, 60, what we know of. Yeah, that's not with lorries and everything else what's getting brought in.
And flown in.
Yeah, and flown in, mate. Look, you got Hong Kong and all of that. There was a thing on saying that they're going to have loads of people wanting to come here.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Penally last year, and I interviewed one of the immigrants who were in Penally, and they had actually been flown in from Germany to Manchester, and then shipped down to West Wales.
Wow, you actually got fucking allowed to stay there. I got fucking nicked. Only lasted 4 days.
Yeah, I went to Penally about 4 or 5 times, like, and I did.
No, I don't rub it in.
Yeah, I got to meet.
Mate, the last time I went there was to pick up all my camera kit, yeah, and it was like loads of bags with all investigation bags and stuff like that. And then I got a phone call saying you have to leave because of COVID and all of this, but I pretended I didn't get the call. So I went and hid in my mate's house, and I did a live stream from her garage with all the bags what the police had nabbed to show people what they had. They even had my berry in a fucking drug testing bag. You know what I mean? So it was drug tested for, you know what I mean? My beret. And then in the morning, they must have knew by cameras that I hadn't left fucking Wales. And in the morning, I went down to Penally at 7 o'clock in the morning thinking, brilliant, get some footage. 3 play cars waiting for me.
Yeah. Oh, they were actually twats, like, do you mean? But it was like the far left just wanted to cause trouble anyway. Antifa.
Yeah, mate, it was weird. It was weird with the police and the locals because it was like heartbeat, if you know what I mean, with the local coppers knowing everyone. And when they're trying to do a standoff at the gates, it just didn't happen because they're calling each other by the fucking first names.
Yeah.
Weird situation.
Hey guys, I've got to shoot. I only said I'd be on here for about 30 minutes or something. Like I've been on here nearly 50 minutes now.
Thanks for jumping on.
To you all. We'll definitely link up when I start touring again. So nice one.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, thanks for
take
jumping
care, man.
on,
God
guys.
bless. All right.
Yeah.
See
Good
you
night.
later, bro.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right.
Thanks,
How do I leave this? Yeah, I'll leave. Got it.
I just booted him off. He can work out how to leave now in the background, like so. It's no worries. Nice to see you back, John.
Thank you. Well, Phil, like I said, I've been busy. And I spent a couple of days at the camp dinner over Christmas. My sister suddenly, she's got some holidays, so got a couple of days off, and I come down to camp. But other than that, I've been busy. Wakefield, a couple of times with Active, Leeds, Magistrates Court we was at, and then I've done a lot of stuff around Oldham. They moved a lot of asylum seekers into an hotel in Oldham. But first of all, the news of it came on social media first, so everyone found out that way. Then the council did a little video a couple of days later. Oh, we're moving them in. Well, we already know, but you didn't tell us. You know, honestly, it's bullshit. And they've already unconfirmed, but there's been some loitering, house break-ins, and people have been talked to in inappropriate ways right next to that hotel already.
Yeah, it's like what the problems they're getting up at Napier Barracks with them going round to houses and trying doors and that. There was footage on Facebook the other day, wasn't there?
Yeah, honestly, that's what I like. Now, this is never mentioned by any of the asylum seeker and refugee apologetics. Not one of them. I've not heard anybody of any standing mention anything about crime or what these people are like when they come over here. No one says nothing. And then there's honor violence. There's, I think, one guy on Twitter, through the paedophile hunters, he's got a list of 30 individuals who've only been here 2 months, and they've all committed crimes as soon as they come here. Not one mention of it. Not one stinking mention on any news channel, not GB News, not nothing. Honestly, not nothing. Winds me up.
Mate, I got iMessages off of someone, and it's guaranteed refugees. Yeah, who's come over, who's actually got onto my Facebook, got onto whatever, got in, and some of the messages I've got sent, mate, are sick, absolutely sick. But it highlights what I'm doing is for the right reason, because they're saying to me, I've even put them out last year, and it is quite scary, mate. You know what I mean? We know what's going to happen. I even tell the coppers down at the beaches, look, the civil war's coming, bro, and you're going to be looking out for people like us to fucking back you lot up.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to be honest about this. Like, I mean, the amount of refugees are coming in and illegals coming in, they are committing a lot of crime, like, and we will get abused. We will get abused online for what we do, and as simple as that. Like, and that's standing up for our country and standing up for our people, standing up for our children.
Yeah, mate, look, we're far right if you try and do what we do. No, we're not. We're just British, proud, English and proud. You know what I mean? We love our country. We're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Because
kids, you know,
look,
our culture.
It doesn't matter. I can't believe, look at what happened in Bristol. I don't know if you heard, you know, the 4 people who were in Bristol for pulling down that statue and dragging it and dumping it in that. They got away with it.
I know.
And it's like, hang on a minute, that's just now opened the rein for anyone to go up to any statue, even Churchill, put a rope around its neck and fucking pull it over.
Exactly.
I mean, this is our history. Things are up in this country for a reason. If it's good or bad, you know what I mean? Normally, it's for the good, even if they've done bad. Look, and if anyone's gone through this fucking lifetime and saying, oh, I'm just full of roses, I've done nothing bad, you're a fucking liar. You know what I mean? We've all got a dark side to us somewhere. You know what I mean?
Learn from people, you know, mistakes, and you know, even if it's bad, you know, you learn from like some statue that's there. Like, you can teach.
History's there for a reason, because you're meant to learn from it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I think, anyway.
Well, when I was guarding Churchill in last year, I think it was, when BLM decided to attack it, and then I went down there a couple of days later. I was down there for a couple of days, and I had a lot of conversations with most of the BLM. I mean, when they decided to have a demo when we were there, when we were gardening, it was only like 8 of us. But I had some good conversations because most of them didn't want to pull down statues. And like I put the other side across, if Churchill has done something wrong and it can be proved, then instead of trying to rip it down, you learn from it. You put a plaque up with the good things he's done and the bad things. You just don't go around ripping things down. It's our history. It's British history.
Well, I mean,
simple as that.
Phil, if they want to start pulling down his statue, the next thing we should do is pull down all the universities in Bristol, because his money went into all them. Then they'd have nowhere to fucking learn. You know what I mean? That's what we should do. They want to start bringing down statues. All Cecil Rhodes buildings need to come down. All the Bristol universities need to come down. And what they don't tell you about the hidden thing of to do with the like slave trade, don't tell you what happened. And Cecil Rhodes and some of the other London slave traders, what they did afterwards, after the slave trade and when they built all the wealth, they put money in to universities to support ethnic minorities, to support the scumbags who were trying to take down some of the statues. Now, that's what these people did, but that's never said in any Black Lives Matter history thing. You know what I mean? It's just a joke.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to look as well, right? Look, there's two ways to look. I look at it this way: every race has been a slave at some point.
Yeah,
we were the first.
If you're white, black, yellow, fucking green, or what? Yeah, every race has been a slave at some point. It doesn't matter what. Now, when I went to Penally, I went on a refugee welcomes do down on the beach. The police wouldn't let me get down there, first of all. But then when I got down there, I met up with a BLM bloke. And I turned around to him and said, right, you say BLM, all Black Lives Matter. I said, can you answer me a question? He said, what's that? I said, my cousin's half caste, mixed race, right? I said, his dad is black as the ace of spades. He comes from Dominica. They live there. I said, and my auntie's pale as fuck because she's ginger. I said, so he's mixed race. So what you're saying all Black Lives Matter, but his life don't matter because you're making him now decide between his black dad or his white mum.
Racism, that is classic racism, Nobby. That is the ultimate of classic racism. Anyone saying that because you've got colour, you should support this way, it's racist.
You know what happened on New Year's Eve? Like I was with my friend, and he had like a body cam, and 2 BLM guys went past us. Well, they stopped where we were, and they was asking about his body cam, and then one of them looked at me, and I was wearing this hat, and he said, "Oh,
I love how he changes his hat.
You support Trump, yeah?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he pointed to his skin, and he's like, "You're the wrong skin color, fam." And I was like, "What?"
Ignorance, Rowan. That is ultimate ignorance from ignorant scumbags who really need a good education. And these are supposed to be university people. They're not, they're not having a good ignorance, total ignorance. And that's a narrative they'll always push at us, that kind of thing. But it's just not going to work, man, because it's just not going to work with me anyway.
That's what I want, man. Can't tell me that. Doesn't because you've got a bit of colour in your skin, you've got to go the black way. Forget the white man. You have to be black. Even you have to hate everybody white, even though half your family's white. You have to hate them all. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to some Black Lives Matter dude, and my family aren't like these slave owners and all that lot. And I said, my great uncle in the early 1900s was cruising around the Caribbean, preaching the word of the Lord and helping people out less better than himself, cooking food at some village, bringing food for people to eat. That's my great uncle. You know what I mean? He wasn't a fucking slave trader with a whip or anything like that. And the fact that people pointing at us, blaming us for everything that happened in the past, that's racist and ignorant as well. Honestly, these people will never get on in life. Seems like
Rohit, you want to try? Try this, mate. You need to bath in it twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
Honestly, that's it. And some of the guys at Speaker's Corner, I remember once, Black Van Man was there, and he was filming, and we were talking to this black guy, and this black guy said something about somebody of mixed race and said he was the wrong colour and a wrong mix, and started to go into things. And Black Van Man went, "It's the most racist thing I've ever heard anyone say, no matter what colour they are." You know, and these are people who were fighting and shouting racist at us all the time. Really watered down word.
Yeah, definitely. Racism is. I'm starting to. I've been racist. People have been racist towards myself, like, I mean, because I'm white. But it's happening all the time, because you can look at ethnic jobs only. Now, this is a perfect example, right? There's 1.22 million Muslims in London, and that's without coloured people and different nationalities, right? And there are jobs out there. Now, they are not a minority in London, but they are advertising for jobs in London for the ethnic only. Now, that is racism.
Yeah, mate, mate, isn't that discrimination as well?
Yeah, it's discrimination. Yeah.
Yeah, totally wrong. It's like the non-black areas, isn't it? Non-white areas, which are popping up all over the country with signs up, "Whites not welcome" after 8 p.m. or something. You know what I mean? I've seen the footage of it and everything. I was going to go and look into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, the police force are doing it all the time as well. They're asking for the minority to, but we are the minority, so why can't we get the jobs only then?
Yeah.
Because we are actually, and it's fact, in London we are the minority.
Oh yeah. Enough songs being made about it years ago. Know what I mean? And that was years ago, when it was people were saying we're in 10, 15 years we're going to be the minority, and fucking 10 years later we are. You know what I mean? 5 years we are. It's crazy. It's gone, totally gone, mate. And look, how the heck are you going to get this country back? Right? We've got a problem on that, because everywhere like Birmingham, Telford, London, it's all been brought up by these people. They own the fucking properties. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, mate.
Well, I mean, even if you don't go into race or anything, the erasing the British identity, the erasing everything that Britain has cultured and come to. Of course, the slave trade wasn't always good, and of course, colonialism wasn't always good, but we learned from these things to make ourselves the people we are now. But they're erasing all that, and our country's just going to be turned into. It is going to be turned into a third world ghetto where it'll be one group of people like Muslims against the Somalis, or the Somalis against the white people, or the white. That's all it's going to end up like. And we're going to lose our identity. All our history is going to go down the drain, and we're just going to be.
That's why they're against all of us, because we're all for our country, our heritage, our history. And that's what they don't want. That's why we're far right, because we are British, you know what I mean, or English, you know what I mean, whatever you want to call yourself. Yeah, I fought for the country, so I say British, and I always get slapped for it. But yeah, I fought for the country, so I'm British. Yeah, that's where my heart is. So yeah, if you're like that, you're gonna get hacked, and it's wrong, totally wrong.
I call myself English, like, you know, people don't like it, but. You know, that's why.
No. See, Rohit, I should call myself English as well, but I fought for the British Army. Yeah, so, and I fought with guys in Wales, from Ireland, from Scotland. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I've got a more of attachment to the British Isles, and even though people have a go at me.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm British. I'm Welsh first, but then I'm British. So. That's the way I look at it, but I'm British at the end of the day. Yeah. I don't want that Wales splitting up from the UK at all. Like, I think we should all be one country, same with Scotland and Ireland, like, don't we?
Yeah, but what do you think of England having their own parliament then, like Scotland has got, Wales has got, you know what I mean? Because at the moment we're governed by the government.
Well, I reckon all of them should go, except for their Parliament in London. Actually, I don't. It's a waste of money, waste of taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
I mean, and with Rakeford, I'm going to call him from now on, not Drakeford, because he's raped Wales. He's got a son who's serving 8 years in prison for violent rape. So yeah, our country is a communist. It's a communist leader running our country, Labour. And it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening.
No.
What colour were you?
Yeah, and we're going down down the road of illegals and stuff, and colour. Well, 100 years ago, this is another fact. The white person on this earth was actually just over 33%, and now we are down to 9.5% of white people actually on this earth. We are reproducing at 1.6 in this country, which is on the verge of extinction, actually. And the colour, how can I say it? The foreign nationalists, they are producing at 5.2, something like that. So we are actually getting outpopulated in our own country now.
Yeah, but that's all part to do with the clergy plan as well.
Yeah. Did you know the most popular name in Britain was Oliver? Okay. The most popular boy's name in London is actually Mohammed. It has been for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fact. That's fact. You can Google that if you don't believe me.
Yeah, I know. I know that's a fact. Believe me, I've looked it up.
And in this country, it went for in the whole of the country, Mohammed went from 29th, 2020 to 2021. It went up to 11th place. So, and that's a popular name, isn't it? It's certainly not a British name.
Phil, all this not having enough kids, though, it's indoctrination. That we're indoctrinated now. All the money, all the advertisements on telly tell you to spend your money on yourself and not your kids. Honestly, just this indoctrination has caused this. If we had good, strong family values still from 50s and 60s, we'd have massive families, but it's just not gonna. It's not like that.
Yeah,
they don't want us to have families.
Hey, John, if you have a look at that the family unit's been demolished by the government over the years, because when I was a kid, my dad used to work and my mum used to look after us. Then when everything went up, my mum had to work to help my dad. Yeah, so we used to get dragged off to their businesses. They couldn't do that now. I used to go and sit on the back of a forklift truck at fucking 6 years of age, and my mum and dad fucking work. You know what I mean? So they could pay the bills. And then they look what's happened. Years ago, they said to everyone, right, it's a really good idea to everyone go self-employed. You'll make more money, yeah? Now everyone hammered self-employed. There's loads of people who are self-employed. Then all of a sudden, this flu virus thing banged on the scene, and everyone now can't go into people's houses. All of these people who are self-employed, mate, are now reliant on the government.
Oh, definitely, mate.
I mean, and they're demolishing the family unit by this, because I've got free feuds with my family because I'm the black sheep of the family who's unvaxxed. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of families are seeing it. But look, this is another way of demolishing that family unit and bringing infighting between the families, so everyone's weaker.
This is another reason why they brought the new sex education into the schools and that. Because it's been pushed. Well, I personally think it's been pushed by LGBT and stuff like that. I mean, they're on board with it. They're talking about sex at the age of 3, and then you're going up to 5. They can choose a gender, which is moving people away from. To more LGBT, and you shouldn't be choosing at that age what gender you want to be at 5. Then at the age of 8. They're deciding, the teachers are going to be teaching safe sex, which you're talking about now. Safe sex, in the eyes of the teachers, what they'll be teaching, or one of the things they'll be bringing up is anal, and it's all about. Look, the more people that turn gay, I'm pushed into that sort of thing with the LGBT. It's a tough subject to talk about. That means the family unit is going. Do you mean? It is absolutely going. And the way they're teaching you is this is about depopulation as well. We all know that, because if you're doing anal, you're not going to get pregnant, do you?
No, it's what the Turks say, isn't it? Girls are for babies and boys are for pleasure.
Yeah, but why teach youngsters at that age as well? It's already fully in Scotland,
Mate,
it's in England, and it's coming into Wales.
Mate, that brainwashes me. What's going on? I'm telling you, it blows me away because, fucking hell, I don't think. When did we do biology? I think we'd done sexual education at the age of 15 or so. First time we sort of heard about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Yeah,
and why go to that age? Why go to that age? That's what I don't get, because it's well underneath the legal consent. Yeah. So why do you have to go back that far as an 8-year-old to start them, or earlier, with sexual education?
Best way to indoctrinate them. Best way. The lessons you learn at that age will stay with them for the rest of life. I mean, but there's lots of issues to do with sex education. I'm not going to lie. England has the highest amount of under 16-year-olds who are pregnant. It has the highest amount of sexually transmitted diseases amongst teenagers. But is that they don't have to, the sex education you come in with schools doesn't, that's not to do with it. You know what I mean? That's not to do with it. But we have got some problems. But I mean, straight away, I'd be on telly and I'd be taking down all them adverts that show fucking women in skimpy clothing. I would, because that's brainwashing our kids. And by the time they get to 15, 16, they think they can wear a miniskirt that's mini. You know what I mean? It's just... but
it seems to be, mate, I don't know. It seems to be a lot of school uniforms, sort of standard issue fucking skirts, which are fucking, mate, down Dover and that. You know what I mean? You see the school people coming out, and it's like, fucking hell, Jesus shit. You know what I mean? That's like a belt. That ain't a fucking skirt.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. It's totally wrong. Yeah, totally wrong.
But the worst part,
especially where these immigrants are being kept down at Folkestone in hotels and stuff like that, mate. It's a scary, scary fucking fact, mate, when you see what's walking around. I'll tell you something, if I had a daughter, mate, she wouldn't be going out if there was hotels full of fucking people just come over from abroad. No way. Scary times.
The worst part about all this is the sex education, which is coming in the schools and around the country, which is coming in, like in Wales. You're not allowed to, because you used to be able to. If it was sex education, you could take your child out of school. Okay, but what they're doing is it's going to be made compulsory.
Really?
It's compulsory. You cannot take your child out of school for a sex education. It's
what happens if you're a Muslim or something like that? Because their religion must kick in then.
Well, I'm hoping they'll kick off. It did kick off in one school last year, actually. So
outside, wasn't it? It was outside the school. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it is going to come for the amount of Muslims we got in this country, because that is something they are dead against, like, do me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought it was before you go to high school. So any time when you're a junior or anything, you can opt out of it. But when you're in high school, you can't opt out of it. That's what I thought. But
no, it's came in with the RSE. It was passed in Parliament. It's passed in the Scottish Parliament. It's passed in the Welsh Assembly as well. You cannot opt out of sex education from the age of 3. When they go to school, that's it.
Wow.
Your kid is no longer your kid. You can't opt out. They've taken that away from you now. And that's what the Welsh people are fighting for the rest of the country, because we're actually the ones who are taking our Welsh Assembly to court for this, because it's all based off Alfred McKinsey, who obviously was a paedophile, because it's all based off paedophilia. If you follow PCP Wales, you can find all the information on there, folks. All the documents which they've based it off. So actually, I mean, it is based off some of the experiments they actually did was on a 3-month-old baby to see how many times it could come, how many times they could pleasure it. I mean, this is how sick these people are, and whoever granted them to do something like that, and then use that as a basis to teach our kids, it's totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Sick.
Yeah, it is sick, mate. If you read,
Rohit, are you not running in any local elections next year or this year?
Rohit.
Who, me?
Yeah. You not fancy running as a local election candidate?
I have no plans of running for anything. Like,
come on, well, when I get my party started, I want people to run in local elections. So honestly, and I'm gonna be pushing people to stand up and run. I mean, I know you're doing these demos are great in London and all that, but if 20,000 people went to one demo and instead of doing that, you started up a political party, you'd have councillors in now who were against restrictions and that in the councils if you run this year. So that's what I would, if I were doing all these demonstrations and I were leader, I'd be focusing on running in local elections.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and you're more likely gonna stop something in a local election councillor than you are as someone who just goes to London demoing every couple of weeks.
Could he join your party?
Of course he can. Of course he can. Honestly, of course he can. But I mean, I don't know if you know yourself, but the Freedom Alliance, they're running candidates in elections this year, and they're going to be running dozens and dozens of candidates.
That'd be interesting.
But that's the way I'd go, because at the moment, the police are just loving these demonstrations, and the government, as soon as you push a little bit, they'll just fucking arrest you all and stamp over you with a tank with them new demonstration rules they've got.
Oh, yeah, that happened recently, yeah. So they're going to try and stop anyone that wants to stand up for, people, the rights of the people, and that they want to allow anything. But yeah, no. What would you advise going for like the main parties or like one of the smaller parties? Because
no, join my party, National Housing Party UK. We're not politically correct. We're going to be talking about rape gangs. We're going to be talking about the threat of Islam. We're going to be against immigration, anything to do with illegal immigrants. We're against all that. Join my party.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, might go for that actually.
I've got to say that I've got some experience in canvassing. I've run as an agent for somebody in the local election, so it's not like I'm experienceless. Got a guy in London, Pat in London, who's very experienced as well, and we just want to make waves. And I mean, showing that one of the things I don't want to be politically correct. So if I'm in a council meeting, I'm going to call that spade a spade and not a fork. You know what I mean? And they can say what they want, but I'm telling the truth and I'm being honest. But when you join the main parties like the Labour Party now, if you're against immigration, you can't say nothing. Being in the Labour Party, you can't say nothing if you're against it. You can't publicly say anything. If you do, you get deselected and moved to the side. That's why we should be focusing on our local parties who can't be treated like that. And if like Rohit, you had your own party, your own little party, and then like the main parties come up, you've got to stop talking about stopping immigration. No, I'm going to carry on talking about it because that's what everyone wants. But you lot just want to keep it the status quo. Honestly, as soon as we get more these hyper and independent politicians, you'll see things change. You will see things change. I'm glad though. I mean, Steve Laws is standing up to run down in the southwest. Great stuff. That's what we need. We want people to stand up. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. If you're well known in your area, you're good at talking to your neighbours and all that, you've already 10 steps ahead of everyone else.
All right, yeah, that's a good point.
And you'd be better paid than what you as a job than you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
we should be definitely going, going up for ourselves, like, people like us, like that, just want the best, the rights for everyone, and just, to sort everything out, like, because like it's never going to happen with this two-party system. And but what do you think about you know how there's like so many parties on our side, like Britain First, for example, that's just one, but there's like how many? There's like 4 Britain, there's all other parties, which kind of divides the vote a bit.
Not really, because there's not many candidates running in them. But I mean, there's not many candidates with these parties. There isn't, and I think that once my party side, I think we'll get some support from people who may have supported other parties, but they're not happy with them party policies, and they'll come for us. It's just building it up. It's just building up. We just got to build it up. But the thing is, it's already a threat to the powers and the Labour Party. In the last general election and in the last local elections, there was what they didn't tell you was the rise of the independents getting votes and independents getting councillors. They never told you on the news. All they talked about was red and blue. But the rise in the independents and independents getting councillor places was in the thousands of percent. So that should just tell you that things are changing and people have got a different view. They have started now a little bit to talk about independent parties, but not enough. But honestly, they were scared. Past few years have been scared because of them independent parties. Don't let anyone fool you. Don't let any Labour member tell you it's not like that. It is. It is. And I'm not saying right now, but in 5 years' time, where Labour had a secure seat, it won't be secure for them. Where Conservatives had a secure seat, it will not be that secure, because people are going to start voting independents.
Yeah, things can change, like, in 5
it's coming.
years.
It's absolutely coming. I've done detailed videos on it, and the last local elections was really good because, like, it was just so blatantly obvious that, and the mainstream media just wanted everyone to think about blue and red, but that wasn't the issue. They should have looked at the bottom of the pile where it said thousands of percent increase. I'm just flying off for a smoke. Won't be a minute.
Yeah, no problem. So, you still there, Nobby? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still here, bro.
So you're going to be. Let's go back to this boat. You're going out on a boat. What do you think you're going to achieve by going out on a boat?
Well, it's not achieving anything, mate. Because look, we can't do anything that's going to cause any harm to them or anything like that. So what we think is going to happen next year is going to be a lot of beach landings, a lot more. So all we want to do is go up and down the coastline, maybe a mile off the coast, up and down, maybe Active take Dover to Ramsgate, I take Dover to Dungeness, and we just patrol inland where Border Force patrol out of land, but we're there to get different footage. Yeah, we've done Dover. Yeah. Active's done people walking up the gangplank. Yeah, I've done that a little bit. I've done up from the cliffs. Active's done beach landings. This year I've got all the beach landings. I've done the RNLI. It's just a different angle and it's different. You know what I mean? You see a dinghy, mate, and you're after it. You know what I mean? Look, if we're out in the fishing boat, we'll have my dinghy. He's got a 60 horsepower engine. Yeah, that's going to skip along. But because of the sand dunes and everything else, he can't get in as close as I can with a dinghy. Once we get that close with one boat, we'll be transferring into my dinghy and then we'll be scooting off. You know what I mean? All live. It's just different footage of them landing in on the beach with us behind them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just changing the angle on things, mate, because we need people to keep interested in watching it. But day in, day out of the same footage just gets a bit tedious. So it's just trying to zip it up a bit. I've got a 700-pound drone now, flies 5 miles. If I draw a box around the dinghy, it'll follow it. So yeah, mate, we've got the equipment now. So it's time to step things up in a different way, but legally. They can't stop us.
Yeah, and it's all about spreading more awareness of what is actually happening. Like,
Yeah. Look, we see them all the time coming in, walking up the beaches at the Dungeness RNLI or arriving at Dover. Well, bit of time now, I think, to get footage from the sea where you're seeing them and then, you know what I mean, catching up with them and then keeping the distance, but we've got the cameras to get close enough and film it live. And I think it's just a different angle in it, bit of a laugh, bit of a giggle. You know what I mean? When it's summer, yeah, we had a giggle this year. We had the police following us this year because they didn't know the fuck it was out there. You know what I mean? It was quite funny. So, yeah, but look, I thought they'd take the boat off me straight away. I'm not doing anything wrong. They can't do nothing against me going out in my dinghy and going up and down the coast. Nothing they can do about it, mate. So, yeah, it's, as I said, different angle on things.
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the footage, mate.
When we first go out, God help me.
Have you got a name for the
every
boat?
night, mate, believe me.
What's the name for the boat?
I don't know. My one's called Truth Teller. No, Truth Seeker. My one's called Truth Seeker.
And have you renamed it Truth Seeker?
No, my one's Truth Seeker. I don't know about actives.
Right. You know that when you rename one, you've got to have a little ceremony and smash a bottle of champagne outside of it.
Yeah, a bit difficult with a fucking blow up one. It might pop.
But it's all right with Active's one, isn't it? Because Active's got a proper boat, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, mate. Active's ones, mate. Pucker, mate. I'll tell you, absolutely pucker. I can't wait. I'm telling you, we've just been so lucky because you know what it's like when you do this. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks you're fucking loaded with money. You know what I mean? You live like a king. You know what I mean? They're totally on the wrong ball game. But we've always said last year that me and Active come up with the same ideas, but we both do them different ways. I had it in my head that I wanted a dinghy with an engine. So did he. Just by luck, sitting around a campfire at the PTSD camp, I was having a chat with a lovely couple. What are you doing this year? I'm after a dinghy with an engine. We got one in our garage you can have. Really? Yeah. Next day, fucking I'm up Nottingham picking it up. That's how quick things happen.
Right,
Yeah. Active and chatting to someone, got donated the money, went and bought a £3.5 fishing boat. So, and then he got a dinghy, if you remember. He had those 2 dinghies. He got them without funding. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to do things without asking for the money so people can see, look, just by chatting to someone on through one of my channels, it's now turned out that one of her cousins owns a boating place somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where. Hopefully could do me a deal with my engine because it's only 4 horsepower. I need a 20. Yeah, and hopefully with a little bit of help, he can do a swap, get me a bigger engine. My boat's sorted then, mate. I don't need nothing more. And it hasn't cost me a penny.
Is that the same engine that you were using in one of them videos where, because we know we were at the camp and the engine was making some sort of like noise. And like, we were saying to each other, like, it could sort of stop at any minute. Like, is that the same engine you're using at the moment?
The engine?
Yeah. There's a time
you get problems. Look, you get problems when you're driving along with the engine. You hit sandbanks underneath the underneath the water, which are really, really shallow, and you can be fucking a mile out.
Yeah.
And your propeller gets stuck in all the sand, so you get funny noises coming from the engine all the time. So, but that's a brand new engine. It's only about 3 years old. It hasn't been used much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, but no, I'm looking for. I need a 20 horsepower, mate, so we can skip along. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bit fast, like, sort of.
Yeah. Because look, if you've got a migrant boat with a 20 horsepower engine, but there's 45 of them sitting on it, with me in, and then when in a little dinghy with 2 of us on it with a 20 horsepower engine, I'm going to catch up with them. Yeah, there's no ifs or buts about it. So, and I don't think my dinghy we can hack a bigger engine because it'll, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's not a very big dinghy. I
But
did
big
worry.
enough to scoot around the coast, mate. It's good enough for what we need. I'd like a little rigid radar, yeah, a little 4-seater. But who knows? Who knows what's around the corner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did worry about you in the summer, mate, especially when the weather got a little bit airy.
Mate, I'll tell you something, the weather out there can change in seconds, mate. And the sea can be, one day you'll be in the same place, you know what I mean, the next day. And the currents, mate, hitting that boat can be from all different directions. The channel's not a good place. And to be quite honest, when you get a certain way out, you look at the beach and you look at your rubber dinghy and you think, if this pops, I've got to swim back. So you do get a bit of respect for what these immigrants are, you know what I mean, getting in them dinghies, mate. You know what I mean? When you lose sight of land, you're bollocks because you don't know where you're going. You know you're going to get tracked or you're going to get picked up. So you know what I mean? Is the risk is minimal in my eyes what they make.
Yeah.
And didn't they have a court case on the other week to do with guys who were accused of steering or guiding the boats over or steering the boats?
Yeah, they got let off.
They got let off. So it's
they got let off. They didn't get done.
So now they got let off. There's another 20 on that beach in France waiting to guide them boats over, knowing that there's going to be fuck all done to them when they get back.
Mate, there's thousands of them waiting over there. Believe me, thousands. We're fucked.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more coming over this year, I would have thought.
And you got to remember, guys, this isn't just on the east coast. This is going up to Norfolk. This is going all the way up to Wales. We've even had landings over in Wales this year, a couple.
Hundreds of miles of coastline. That's what, when I came to Dover, not last year, year before, Nobby, that's what I realised. As soon as I got down, I realised the scope. You don't realise the scope until you're there, do you?
No, look, when we started off, we were like looking at pet level. Then it went up to Rye. Then it went all the way around to fucking Dungeness. Then it moved on to Dover, so that was at the coastline. Then we found out it was even happening over like St Margaret's Bay, Deal, Kingsdown, fucking Ramsgate, and it's like fucking hell. That's the whole of the south coast near enough.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
that's
Look,
what I mean.
Eastbourne, Hastings, fucking.
Until I came down 2 years ago, I never realised, Nobby. That's why I always want to visit the places I'm talking about that the action's going to see. And when I went down that first day, I went, this is unbelievable. This is hundreds of miles of coastline. I never even realised. And it might be 20 odd miles here. It's only 30 odd miles, 15 miles down. So they'll be coming down there. They'll be coming here. They'll be coming here.
Yeah.
And then when you get to them beaches where there's no entrance, you can land on the beach, but there's no way of getting up the wall. Fucking hell!
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, mate.
Pitch black at night, and your boat lands, and there's no way. You've just got to stay on that beach or get back on your boat until you get found.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate. Look, why do you think I bought the drone? Because I can plug myself and I can fly that drone as long as it's a no-fly zone, all the way up the coast 5 miles, all the way back to me, and all the way down the other side 5 miles, and I can sit in one place.
All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap the show up because we've been on here an hour and a half, near enough.
What's this, with Christmas wrapping paper?
Yeah, I'm going to try that now, mate. Definite. Thank you all for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you, and I'm sure I'll be having you all back on in the next few weeks as well. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank you for coming on. Okay.
Yeah. Cheers, Phil.
Nice being
Thank you, Phil.
And
Thank you. Thanks,
cheers,
guys.
John. See you later, Rohit.
Yeah.
Phil.
See you all soon.
Everyone who's watching.
Yeah. So folks, what I'm going to actually do now is I'm going to wrap up the show. But first of all, I'm looking for a co-host. I've got a few people who are already interested. I'd like a few more would like to apply. I don't mind if you're male, female. It doesn't make any difference to me, folks. But that's why I'm looking for a co-presenter. Do you mean to co-present my shows? Like, do you mean so I can have a little bit of time off when I want it as well? Like, also a few admins if there's any around about, that would be great. Also, folks, I'm my next week's show is going to be about cyberbullying, stalking, and trolling. So, what I'm looking for is people to come onto my show next week who have gone through this, because obviously everybody knows now what happened to me. Somebody tried to nick my profiles, and last week, not yesterday, the day before, I think it was Monday, was it? Yeah, and they were portraying to be me. So I will get to the bottom of that, like I said. But anybody that's, has gone through it, gone through cyberbullying, trolling, and stalking, I'd like you to come on, and I want to do a special show on it next week. So anybody that wants to do that, they're most welcome to send me a PM at Philip Watkins, and I'll bring you onto the show. And if you can send me the evidence and whatever evidence, and I'll put it up. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. I'm a truther, and I want to cover different things, and lots of different things I've got planned for this year, folks. So, yeah, I'd like to thank all my guests for coming on tonight. I'd also like to thank all my admin, and I'd like to thank all the people who have been watching and sharing, folks, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this show, and we wouldn't be spreading awareness. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually sign off with my Darren Purcell, who's done this little bit of music to end the show with. And I'd like to thank Darren as well for putting my music and my countdown together at the beginning, folks. He's a brilliant rapper, really, and thank you very much. Okay, good night all, and I'll see you next Wednesday or when I'm on my live. And if I'm going to follow Darren Daz tomorrow, I'll probably do a live as well, so you'll see where I am. Okay, good night all. God bless.
Okay, picking it up here in Wilmington, North Carolina, right at the intercoastal. We're in one of these bands.
So that's Mike Seidel in Wilmington, North Carolina. But as he races and fights to win Friday, check out the two guys who seem to walk right by him in the background there, no trouble at all. The video has been shared more than 1 million times on social media. Now let's go.
Cruising, losing, looking for some news, and losing is amusing. Other people choosing the topics I can view, and the subjects I can chew on, the facts that I can spew, and the news they put their slew on. Twisty, turny, wriggly, wormy, squealy, squirmy news. Psychopathic journalists deceiving with their views. Tightening like a tourniquet, they're aiming to confuse. Nightly negative narratives narrating you the blues. Blues and twos, new taboos, the pasta's all sold out. The hurricane's incoming and the world is dying out. Asteroids, blasteroids, steroids in their tails. The windiest ever windy gales are blowing in the dales. The sea levels are rising at a super duper rate. 247 365, the caliphate's your fate. Tidal waves are waving like the death rays from the sun. Duck and cover, stand your ground, there's nowhere else to run.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, it was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
Writing, fighting, to publish stuff exciting. Losing is amusing, other people choosing. The posts that I can post and the documents I can read from. The info I can feed from, the facts the checkers get wrong. Sleazy, slimy, geeky, grimy, blackout shoulders tech. Concluding with a clickety-click what's wrong and what's correct. Politically encouraged with protection from the law. They're getting pretty ruthless now, they're panicking for sure. Scrubbing out the info like a scrubber in a tub. Deleting the derogatory of the members in their club. Documents and studies disappear without a trace. Psychopathic moral unless they're doing it in your face. The info is erasing at a super duper rate. Breach community standards, your account will feel a fate. Post a funny meme means that you hate and are extreme. No chance of an appeal cause you're white and so supreme. Doctors, nurses, scientists and servants, real boys made from wood, covering for the perverts, defining definitions that will put you in a spin. Anything of interest gets filed in recycled bin. Algorithms algorizing the content that you post, collecting information, long-term storage with a host. Five Eyes keeping eyes on you, they're eyeing up your speech, using legal loopholes to conduct a data breach. And qualified assessors banning stuff they do not like. Since early 2020 this has reached a massive spike. You're swimming in a dirty